Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Talkin Wrasslin podcast with your host, the macho-loving, cornet carny, little munchkin Denny Vale. And the Jacksonville wrestling fan, whose favorite wrestlers, of course, are forever and always will be the Young Bucks. Lyssie Vale. Together, these two give a retrospective of the week in the professional wrestling world throughout all promotions across the world. So let's jump into this week's episode. Oh my God!
Hello. We decided to finally do a podcast. It's a couple days late because there's been a lot of family vacation, summertime activities, work.
Inconsistencies that we did not realize when we were recording this last time about how late we were going to... Well, we're not too late. We're only 2 days late.
Yeah, we're 2 days late.
So it's Tuesday as we're recording this.
But you're not going to hear it until Thursday.
So, yeah. And
that means you're going to get all of last week's stuff. You're not going to get this week's Raw or this week's Dynamite.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't get this week's Dynamite because we don't even know unless we predict the future. But you're going to get some wrestling news. This episode's probably going to be short anyway because there wasn't really a lot to talk about. Last week was already a fucking disaster and a half, too. But you're going to get some wrestling news. You're going to get a little bit of Dynamite, a little bit of SmackDown, a little bit of Collision, and we're going to talk about All In, the predictions for All In.
Well,
what's announced.
Now, hold on. You didn't even introduce us.
I'm Dylan. That's Lyssie. This is Talkin Wrasslin.
You're doing a terrible job as the host. They don't even know that you're the host. You didn't say it. You didn't go like, hey guys, welcome back to Talkin Wrasslin.
I'm the one fucking talking.
I'm Dylan, the host for the week, here with Lyssie. Say hi, Lyssie.
Hi.
Hi, Lyssie. Yeah, see?
Wait, you're Dylan?
Maybe.
And I'm Lyssie?
That is very unfortunate.
So I can just keep fucking talking?
You can go do my job for me.
No, I'm okay.
Well, how about we start off with talking about our weeks?
Oh, boy.
And why we're so delayed on all of this. So, Dylan, take the reins. The poo-ah.
We're watching the Phillies at the Braves, and the scoreboard spells poo-ah.
I took a picture of it, and I sent it to my friend Mark, and I said, me fighting for my life in the bathroom, and he responded back, I said, isn't that what Roman Reigns says? Poo-ah.
Poo-ah. But, yeah, so my week was fun. It was work, but then I went on like a little getaway vacation over the weekend. I went to Baltimore, Maryland to see the Baltimore Ravens play the Atlanta Falcons in a preseason game, and I'm not a fan of either of them. I'm an Eagles fan, and my family went, and we're all different fans. My family has a big cocktail of...
A smorgasbord. No one's the same fan.
Yeah, no one is literally the same fan. We're all different fans. We got an Eagles fan, we got a Cowboys fan, a Giants fan, a Broncos fan, a Packers fan, a 49ers fan, a Ravens fan. That's the reason why we did go. Jaguars fan.
Do you say Vikings?
Vikings, Notre Dame, Penn State, Phillies, Mets. Yeah,
you guys are all over the place.
It's all over the fucking place. But yeah, it was a fun time.
I see you guys are all over the place, and I'm the Jags fan.
Yeah, you're the Jags fan in this. It was a fun time. It was actually a pretty decent game. There was a lot of missed field goals, so we got a lot of free nuggets. Because they were doing this thing, like if the opposing team, the Falcons, was missing field goals, you get free nuggets on the McDonald's app, so that was cool. It's a pretty nice stadium. Baltimore's a weird town. We kept hounding my grandmother because the game was during the day and the Baltimore Orioles, the baseball team, was playing at night. We were trying to get her to buy us tickets to go to the baseball game because we just thought it would be fun. We didn't go. Luckily, we didn't because it did start raining when the game started, so the game got postponed for like an hour.
Oh, that sucks.
So, yeah. But it was a fun game. It was a fun time.
But you were gone for the weekend.
I was gone for literally the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I was gone. I was in another state.
normally we would record like on a Sunday or a Monday. And Dylan came back
I came back on
Sunday. But the issue that we ran into was I worked Sunday and Monday, and I worked night shift. Not like overnights, but like I closed. So I didn't get out till like 10:30. And then Sunday, Dylan goes back to work on Mondays, and he gets up early for work. So he was asleep by the time I got home, both Sunday and Monday. Well, Sunday and yesterday, I guess, technically. So because of that, I was like, we're going to have to record the podcast late. So, is what it is. Again, this is being uploaded on Thursday by the time you hear this. And not that it really matters, but the reason I decided to do Thursday and not Wednesday is because, like, when we do upload, like, 2 parts, we'll do Tuesday and Thursdays. So I feel like to keep with some sort of consistency, keep it up Thursdays. And also for, like, the little drawings that I do for, like, Wrestler of the Week, I need to use my iPad for that. And right now my iPad is not well charged. And it's, like, 7 o'clock at night, almost 8 o'clock at night. And I don't want to be staying up super late to do this because I have to go to work for 4:30 in the morning.
We are super unprepared for this episode.
Incredibly unprepared for this episode. Luckily, again, there's not a whole lot that we need to dive into, so it's not going to be like a crazy filled episode. But we're here.
Unless we just start rambling on about things.
Yeah. Anything else interesting and fun happened for your week?
No, not really. Yeah.
I mean,
there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, my week was pretty much work-filled.
It's kind of like that end of summer, like, my sister's going back to college too, so that kind of like was like let's get together one more time before you go back to college for the semester or whatever. So it's just one of those, it's like one of those weird moments in the summer where it's like, oh shit, everything, like we're gonna be like locked in our houses during the cold months in like a few months, so like let's do everything now. Well then,
and also like my birthday is next week. So me, my dad, and Dylan are gonna go out to dinner on Thursday for my birthday. Kind of for my birthday. So, like, basically I was talking to my dad about it, and, because I was the one who planned it. No tea against my dad, I'll explain that in a second. But I was at work, and I was like, oh, shit, I never, like, talked to my dad about where I wanted to go for my birthday dinner. Because normally I, like, tell him, and I'm like, hey, do you mind if we do this? And he's like, yeah, let's go. So I texted him, and I was like, hey, I kind of want to go to this one place that I'm not going to name because it's a local place, but I will say has very good pizza and very good pastries.
It's Hell's Kitchen.
No, it's not. It's a very, very interesting place, but super good stuff. And I was like, I want to go there for my birthday. And you might stab me for this because I don't know how much I think you like pizza pastry place. And they also have salads and stuff, so you can just get a salad or whatever.
Even if I don't really like what the restaurant specializes in,
pizza, salads, pastries.
I'm talking about just any restaurant. Like it can be a fucking steakhouse.
Yeah.
And like I'm not in the mood for fucking steak. I'll find something on the fucking menu to eat.
Well, here's the thing, right? It was between pizza pastry place and Dave and Buster's.
Bro, we should have went to Dave and Buster's. What the fuck,
I chose pizza
Lyssie?
pastry place because...
Why did you even tell me this? Now I'm upset.
Because, okay, so...
We could have played fucking games,
Here's the thing, right? And, again, no disrespect, no tea to my dad, because I love my dad. But if we're going to go to Dave and Buster's, I kind of would rather the first time we go to Dave and Buster's be you and me, simply because I don't know how it operates there. So, like, it's an arcade... and
your dad would probably be confused as fuck.
And I would be very confused trying to figure it out with him. So I feel like it's better if you and I go by ourselves, figure it out together, and then we could go like as a family thing.
My dad is younger than your dad. Mm-hmm. Like my dad, born in 1980.
Yeah, no, your dad's about 20 years younger than my dad.
When I was a little bit younger, with my brother and sister too, we went up to the Dave and Buster's in King of Prussia.
Yeah.
because it's right there. My dad was like, what the fuck? Like he
Yeah.
was like, my dad was even confused.
I don't know what to do about that. Like, do we get a table and eat first? Do we load up our arcade cards first? Do we have to reserve a table to make sure that we... Like, I don't know that.
So I think what they do, I could be wrong. I think what they do is when you go in, they ask you, do you plan on playing in the arcade or are you just planning on eating? Because people just go there to eat.
Yeah,
like,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so they ask that, and usually 9 times out of 10, it's probably arcade and eating.
They might have, like, separate sections.
Well, the arcade is obviously a set. No, I think what they do is like, okay, I think they just asked that to know because I think they fill up your card and and then you go eat or you go play the arcade, like whatever you do first.
Because I'm expecting this to be like a Chuck E. Cheese for adults.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I don't know how the whole thing's set up, but like, nonetheless, I didn't want it to be too confusing and have basically none of us going into this with any fucking idea.
I would have a small idea, but
so
I could be wrong. But
I would have rather just been like, you and I can go to Dave & Buster's at some point because now I'm making a little bit better money, so we don't have to struggle as much, and we could actually go out and do stuff, and then maybe eventually go to Dave & Buster's, so aside from that, I was texting my dad and I was like, hey, I kind of forgot that my birthday exists because everything has been so fucking crazy this past month, between like starting the new job and everything that comes in with the new job and whatnot, because I'm not gonna give away again where I work or anything like that, but I was hired because there was a new store opening in the area that I work.
So you had to go through all that.
So I had to go through training at 2 different stores, one for like the I don't want to say like the entry level or like ground level because that sounds terrible, but like wouldn't it like the associate type, training.
Yeah.
And then I had to go through like manager training, and I had to go from a store that was literally 2 minutes, if that, from my house to a store that was about 30 minutes away from my house, which realistically isn't terrible of a drive, and I don't mind. In the area that it was, I drive up towards very frequently to begin with. It was just a lot. It was a lot going back and forth, and then the store opened, and then, we're having to deal with all the new stuff with, like, it wasn't just me being trained at different stores. There was other people getting trained at completely different stores that I wasn't even at, and there was people coming down from other stores that I was never at, so it's been a lot. And I completely fucking forgot about my birthday. So I texted my dad, and he was like, well, did you want it to be like an everybody gets together type of deal, or did you want it to just be the 3 of us? And I was like, well, I'm fine if it's just the 3 of us. Like, that's no big deal. I know it's kind of last minute. And he was like, oh, okay, because I figured we were just going to plan to do like a 3-way birthday dinner for myself, my dad, and my brother, because my dad and my brother both have birthdays in October, and then mine's at the end of August. So, I mean, September's there in existence, but it's kind of also like that buffer month to maybe we could get something planned at September for everyone, or if not, we can like go into October. So it was one of those things where it's like, we're all just going to go out, celebrate all of them together as well. But, my dad will never say no to going to a lunch or a dinner with me at any given point. So that happened. That's happening. So it's just been crazy, basically, is what I'm saying. Is like between me figuring out everything that's going on with my job, Dylan going away. And the thing is, Dylan's going away again.
I'm going away next week.
Next week. So not this week, the following one. And he's going away again.
Yes.
But luckily that is not during the time frame of like recording or anything. So again, we'll have to see with how schedules line up and whatnot. I don't want to say that like recording's going to be inconsistent like all the time, but depending on like my work schedule and whatnot now, it might be a little more you know what I mean?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out as we go on.
Basically, we'll get the episode out.
Yeah, so the point of all this is like, this is the first time it's inconsistent. It is very possible that there will be a little bit more inconsistencies and not open or not open, not up and uploaded on the regular Tuesdays. And apologies for that.
Well, the thing is,
but I have a fluctuating schedule now, and that's just how it is.
The thing is, we could have probably recorded this episode if I didn't go away this week.
Oh, it would have been fine.
We could have recorded it on like Saturday.
Yeah.
But like I was in a whole other state.
Yeah. We could have easily found time. But Dylan was out of state, so we'll figure it out as time goes on. Before we get into everything, I still just want to talk a little bit more about my week. Not that there's too much more to talk about. Again, a lot of it was pretty much just work. Got into the new store this week, and things have just been one thing after another. So it's been a lot. But while Dylan was away, I got the apartment to myself, which means I got the bed to myself, which means I was able to go on the TV and watch whatever YouTube videos I wanted to fall asleep to, instead of watching them on my phone, which is fantastic. The only reason I let Dylan have the TV is because again, he wakes up earlier for work. And are you going to go yell at Ghost? Is that what you're going to go do?
No, I got to plug in the controller. I meant to plug in the controller.
He wakes up earlier for work, and most of the time than I do. Sometimes I have a way earlier shift than him tomorrow. And he goes to bed earlier than me. So if I want to watch a video, I just have it on my phone so the TV could be quieter, because normally it'll be a little bit louder if it was me watching, like staying up till whatever hours of the night watching.
I have good hearing.
Yeah. Dylan's a very light sleeper, basically.
I am.
He puts on whatever he wants as, like, very quiet background noise and, like, just enough of, like, a dim light. And then I'm over here with, like, my phone, just watching whatever, which is fine.
I'm one of those sleepers that I hate the light. Mm-hmm. Like, let's put it this way. I hate waking up for work at, like, 5:30 in the morning and the sun's already up. I like going to work with the sun still down because I'm like, bro, I'm not awake yet. It is too bright.
Fair enough. But yeah, so I got the house to myself, and I think, as I said, I double-fisted Collision and the Bucks and Jags game, which was wild.
Man, we were sitting in the hotel room, because, like, it started raining around that time, and it was nighttime already, and you don't want to walk around, like, night in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We had a baseball game on. We had the Little League World Series on. We had a football game on. And we were playing Skippo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All of us were playing Skippo.
And I was just sitting here looking at my phone, looking at the TV, looking at my phone, look at the TV. Like, because I was like, I'm going to watch the Bucks and Jags game. And Dylan's like, it's not on TV. And I'm like, oh, I'll find it. He's like, you're going to find, good luck finding a preseasons game. And I was like, I know a guy. I could find it. And I did know a guy who knew a site that I won't put information out there about. And I sure as fucking hell sat down and totally legally watched the preseason's Bucks and Jags game, and we won. Yay.
Go Eagles.
Go Jags. All right, that's enough chit chat about our week and the trials and errors we have gone through of it. Start us off, Dylan. What the fuck are we even talking about this week? Because I have no fucking clue.
I guess let's just get it out of the way first. Rest in peace to Afa.
Yeah, that did happen this week.
Very sad. Very sad because Sika just passed away. Mm-hmm. And Afa was like the king of the bloodline, the Samoan dynasty. I've met people that have been trained by Afa.
Yeah.
And Afa has trained so many people in the wrestling business, from Batista, the Billy Kidman, to people that I know.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And fuck Dave Meltzer for reporting it a day earlier and then not even apologizing for it and just covering his tracks. A lot of people were mad at Dave.
I didn't even know he did that.
Yep.
Damn. Because I just remember seeing, like, the posts from, like, WWE and like literally every, like, wrestling promotion out there, like, sending their condolences out. And that was the first time I didn't even know Meltzer, like...
Yeah, he
leaked somebody's death.
Yeah, he reported it a day before it actually happened because Alpha wasn't doing too good the past, like, I don't know how long. So I'll just say for quite some time.
Yeah.
He hasn't been, like, I know he was recently in the hospital, but I don't know how long. I don't know if it's been like years or months or whatever, but he hasn't been doing too good. And I've been listening to, like, other wrestling podcasts recently in the past couple of days since this has happened and everything, and, like, people that have known Alpha pretty much, like, saw the writing on the wall after Sika died. It was like, it's gonna happen sooner than later now because of he just lost his brother.
Yeah.
And, like, that also just kind of takes a toll on, like, the person.
Well, I mean, it sounds silly, and this isn't meant to be in any sort of disrespect type of thing, because I'm sure, like you were just saying, he had a lot of health problems and whatnot. I mean, he was up there in age.
I'm gonna see, like...
But, like, it's so common to, like, hear people, like, that can die of a broken heart. And I'm not saying he did. What I'm saying is, like, that does take enough of, like, a very close passing does take enough of a toll on people to where you can die from a broken heart. So in the retrospect that can literally kill somebody in its own.
Yeah.
That could not have helped his health at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. So, like, if he was unfortunately already not doing too well and then that happened, that is 100% like, that's not going to be beneficial for anyone. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not surprised that when people were saying, like, once Sika passed, it's only a matter of time, unfortunately. It's just sad, it's, especially again in such close succession, it's so sad to hear stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna name names or anything like that. Somebody that I know very personally, a good friend of mine, lost both of their parents in a very close time frame.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. Like, it's a lot, man. It is so much for, like, one person to go through, and just condolences out to the family. Of course, like, that's, like, kind of a given, like, it's so hard to put into words stuff like this because you just really don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And, like, I never met Alpha, never had, like, a conversation with him or anything like that, but I've heard so many countless stories from just the couple of months that I was in pro wrestling school about him.
Yeah.
And all the stories that I heard and everything, he seemed like a really nice guy.
Like a genuine soul.
Cared about the business, cared about, like, everyone and everything. So, and I've seen him wrestle. I've seen a lot of Wild Samoan matches. So.
And correct me if I'm wrong, of course, didn't you say that when you were in pro wrestling school there was, a nickname that they used to call Alpha?
They used to call, they used to call him Pops.
Pops, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep. So,
but, yeah, that's just, that I feel like within itself is a very, like, that tells a lot. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunate. Again, condolences to the family. And, yeah. Anything else you want to?
Rest in peace, Alpha.
Rest in peace, Alpha.
Moving on. I got more news on the Lucha Bros to WWE.
Yeah, I told you it was a bunch of hoopla.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
It's a bunch of hoopla.
I got a thingy thing that we can read about this.
A bunch of hoopla that I proved to Dylan was hoopla, and I was like, see?
It's just so odd, but this is what I got. According to some within AEW, the Lucha Bros don't want to do business on their way out of the company, like many others have done in the past. Along this, some within the company are claiming that AEW could add injury time onto Penta's contract. Penta has since called reports that he would be in Orlando this week as fake news and that his present is AEW.
Yeah, he posted it on his own Twitter. He was like, "Stop the rumors. I'm staying in AEW." He's literally said it on his own fucking
And then
Twitter.
I saw a report that it's funny that it says Penta, because I saw a report that they can add injury time to Rey Fenix's contract, and that the reason why Penta is saying that on Twitter is to stay face with AEW so they don't add injury time to Phoenix's contract.
I don't. That's a stretch. I really don't feel like that's... Like, again, like I said last week, like, granted, they haven't been doing a lot with the Lucha Bros. They definitely could do more with the Lucha Bros than just tossing them in random fucking matches here and there. They could be doing actual stories with them. They're a fantastic tag team that should be on display better in AEW's tag division. And they used to be. And I think that we need to kind of get a little bit back to that because they were phenomenal.
Oh, we'll talk about the tag division later on in this episode.
But I also don't see them really going anywhere. And frankly, again, I don't even think WWE would do much with them. I don't think they would do well with them. I think they would be a pop for a week and then again on WWE speed.
Like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. This is like just so like up in the air and everything. Like, where's the Motor City Machine Guns too? That's like like they were supposed to go to WWE. We've been hearing that for like a couple months now. Where are they? What's going on with this Lucha Bro thing? Is Tony Khan like...
What if Motor City Machine Guns shows up as the... Because there's a match for...
That's for the trios belts.
Oh shit, that is for the
trios We'll talk about that later.
But what if they just show up at All In anyway? Fuck it.
We'll talk about that too. All In being like a potential thing of a lot of things and whatnot. But like... I guess what I'm trying to say is the backtrack to the last subject that we were talking about. Fucking Dave Meltzer is leaking false information about someone dying. So, like, can we really believe... Like, this isn't from Dave Meltzer that I'm reading right now, but can we believe any of these journalists anymore at this fucking point?
I never do. Like, I've been saying it so many times now, I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
This goes back all the way to the arguments of fucking Brawl Out.
Yeah, no, literally once Brawl Out happened, and I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Like, even beforehand, it's still kind of take it with a grain of salt from journalists, but I felt like before Brawl Out, there was a little bit more truth to stuff that you could have taken. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, maybe something, if it was wrong, it was half wrong. And there was a lot of stuff that was fully wrong, don't get me wrong.
No, there's still stuff from, like, years ago, too.
Most of the stuff that you saw, you could have, like, at least a decent amount of faith in, of just, like, okay, I can get with this, and was what it was. But again, still take with a grain of salt, because anything could change at the drop of the hat in the wrestling industry, and anything could be a lie. We've heard so many stories about wrestlers saying that they lie to journalists intentionally. So they leave them alone type of thing or whatever.
I would.
Or just to fuck with them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yo, I can skip an ad on here? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So it's, again, one of those things, like, take it with a grain of salt. But once Brawl Out happened and everything started getting completely misconstrued, because that was... I mean, I still upload on TikTok every now and again. But when Brawl Out happened was when I was, like, uploading a lot to TikTok, because I was talking a lot about Brawl Out, and everyone was. And it got so frustrating for me, because one day I would be posting a video saying X, Y, and Z, and then the next day I'd be posting a video saying A, B, and C, because new reports come out of conflicting information.
Yeah.
And it was around that time where I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, first of all, none of this is actually even really my business. Like, I shouldn't be knowing about this. Like, I shouldn't be hearing 10 different reports from 10 different people.
That's the thing. We've said it before on this podcast. Like, we know too much as fans.
Yeah, we know too much as fans. And when all that was happening, it, like, really made me realize how much too much we know, and how much too much we know isn't right. And that once that whole thing was going on and happened and everything kind of simmered down and slowed down and stopped, I was like, you know what? At this point, like, I'll talk about things that are being said, kind of like how we do on here. Like last week, we talked about the potential and the reports that were coming out about it. But at the end of the day, I can talk about something that I saw online and also not believe it and also not fall for it until I am proven otherwise. And that was even like the thing with Shane McMahon with AEW for the longest time, because there was reports months ago saying that Shane McMahon was like in talks with AEW or potentially could have been in talks with AEW. And we still don't know. We saw that picture of Shane with Tony Khan. But I remember talking to my old boss about that, and I literally looked at him and I said, I will believe it when I see it. I was like, that would be great for them, honestly, for backstage stuff. But I'm not going to put my faith in any of these reports because, like...
Or, like, let's just look at... Literally, today's the 3-year anniversary of it. CM Punk returning.
Yeah, and how many times has CM Punk been rumored to return before that?
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about how it was literally the best, worst kept secret ever.
Okay, he didn't help. If I'm being for real, that's the thing.
That was the thing, because it just got out there, so
yeah.
That's why he started doing it.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, fuck it, might as well at this point.
Yeah.
And just might as well troll. And just keep going.
Which is good.
Yeah.
At that point. But yeah, no, it's...
They had an arena to sell out, goddammit, and they did. When, they were able to do that. Anyway. Yeah. Journalists are fucking crazy.
Yeah, so again, like, whatever goes on with the Lucha Bros, again, wherever they're happy is what matters to me most. If they do end up eventually showing up to WWE and they're happy in WWE, that's great, that's awesome. If they stay in AEW and they're happy in AEW, that's great, that's awesome. I really don't care either way as long as they're happy and they're making the money they want to make and they can feed their families. Like, that's really, at the end of the day, all that matters to me. And I am not going to give any of these journalists really like the time of day to believe what they're saying, even if what they're saying is 100% the truth and the whole truth. Because I feel like it's not our place to know as fans, realistically, the intricacies. I get it that journalists have the job of like reporting wrestling news and whatnot, but I feel like there's a line between like reporting confirmed news and reporting speculations, and a lot of this stuff just reminds me of like the tabloid fucking magazines you'd see at like the cash lane, the checkout lane at a supermarket, where it was just like, Lindsay Lohan gained 10 pounds. We have theories as to why. And it was like, I don't need to know about her personal intricacies of her weight struggles and her life. Like, that's not my fucking business. That's her business.
Those magazines still crack me up when you see them. Because it's just like, yo, they still make these fucking things.
It's fucking insane. And, like, that's the vibe that, like, wrestling journalists give to me now. Like, again, if it was something like reporting, like, let's say Shane McMahon did sign a deal with AEW. And they were like, okay, we have confirmation. We know it has been announced. It has been public information. Shane McMahon signed with AEW. Now let's talk to Shane McMahon and get like an inside scoop as to what was going on and why he decided to sign it. Like, that, fine. I do not care about that. That is great. I love hearing like the viewpoint and the almost like an interview from wrestlers or promoters or whatever. Like, that's fine. But spreading rumor mill is just so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of our energies. And again, it's information fans don't need to fucking know. They don't need to know it. And it honestly, a lot of it, personally, I know I'm rambling a lot about this, but like, personally, a lot of it has ruined so much of the fun of wrestling. Because, like, what if the Lucha Bros didn't re-sign with AEW and then they did just show up in WWE one day? And everyone's like, oh my god, holy shit. Like, that's fun. That's great. That's the pops that people want. We don't want the information to get leaked. We want to be surprised.
Yeah, like, no one knew about fucking Sting.
No one knew about fucking Sting.
When he came to AEW.
No.
Like, people have theories about Punk showing back up in WWE, but, like, people were like, Like, because it was just after Brawlin.
Didn't know. He got fired, so there wasn't actually any sort of.
There was like no thing, and it was like we didn't know where he stood with WWE, and there was all that, and there was a genuine like holy fuck.
Yeah, and the thing is like. Most of the people were like, there were people that like legitimately were speculating it.
Yeah.
But 90% of the people were joking about it.
Yeah.
Like the entirety.
Because it was like, okay, like he tried this AEW thing out. It didn't work out. He's fucking done. Like he's pissed off at wrestling again. Like he's not going WWE. They ain't gonna take him back.
What was where did he show up? It wasn't the Rumble. It was
Survivor Series. Yeah, and it was in Chicago.
And people were speculating it, but like 90% of the fucking 100% of the pay-per-view, like 99.999% of it. There were people online joking about it, of just like, oh my god, is this a CM Punk reference right here? We were doing it.
Yeah.
We were watching the show, and we were just like, oh my god, they said something or another.
Yeah.
Like, they said the word personality.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is that a CM Punk reference? And, like, literally by the end of it, like, the very end before he came out, we're like, oh my god, look, the copyright sign's up. Oh my god, is that a CM Punk reference? And then he showed up!
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck happened?
We're like, no way.
I firmly believe 90% of the wrestling fan base didn't actually believe it was gonna happen. And it was fun, you know, like, we had fun joking about it. We had fun, like, you know, being like, oh yeah, that's not happening. And then it did happen, and it was cool.
It was just like, wow, it actually, like, it really happened.
But, like, can you imagine if there was, like, if journalists were, like...
Not a thing. Oh, it'd be
not
beautiful.
A thing. Like, it would be so great. It would be so fucking great. And again, like, certain information should be out to the public, sure. Why not? Like, I mean, we don't need the specific reasoning, but if there weren't journalists and we weren't, like, you know, talking about what was going on backstage before Punk got fired, and...
If I was a wrestler, I would fucking hate that my contract status is out in the public.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, fucking Danny Vallo's got 2.5 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
But 8 months of injury time. Like, no, I don't want fucking people. Danny Vallo's fucking making $2.2 million a year. Like, I don't want fucking people to know that.
I want to know how much the Bucks are making. I genuinely do.
That is the thing. I do like knowing how much
I
people
do
are
know
making.
that is like going against literally everything I just said about being like we know too much as fans. But the fact that
there's certain things that we need to know.
The fact that they are known as the highest paid tag team wrestlers in the world.
I want to know.
I want to know what that number is personally. And
I want to know if they're robbing Tony Khan of money.
You know, I mean, me and the Bucks are mutuals. I can just hit up Matt and be like, "Hey, Matt, how much do you make?" Personal question. No, I'm not gonna do that. But no, like if CM Punk got fired for the backstage altercation at All In, and we didn't have journalists to know the specific reasons, and out of the blue, AEW was just like, "We have ceased, like." CM Punk's contract.
And look how fast it always spreads. Literally, that information came out when the second match wasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
It was like the second it
happened.
I
want to know who said something. Who was the one that, like, were there people backstage that were journalists?
I don't know.
Like, were people
Dave
backstage and saw what happened? Like, I don't know.
Dave and Sean weren't fucking back there.
No, but...
Those fucks.
Like, I'm just wondering, like, did CM Punk go to his locker room and immediately just call someone? Or did, like, the Bucks just call someone? Or did
Tony Khan.
Or did we miss a part of the footage where Jack is being cradled by Samoa Joe and he's actually on the phone with, like, Meltzer or something? What happened?
Joe's calling. No, it was fucking Hook standing there.
Yeah.
Hook called Meltzer.
Hook was like, he was only looking back and forth because he was trying to find his phone. Yeah. Like, that's what he was doing. But, like,
it was Tony. No, this is low-key what happened. Everything happened, and Tony was like, oh my god, Dave, you would not believe what happened.
We didn't see Tony from the footage, so he could have been on the phone with Meltzer.
Dave, you will not believe what happened.
But no, sure. But again, like, we don't need the inside information of any of that type of stuff. But it would be jarring to just be like, oh my god, AEW just had this pay-per-view where they sold like 80,000 plus tickets. And it was the largest showing in wrestling history for a show. And they had a phenomenal show, this, that, and the other thing. And then 3 days later, contract ceased with CM Punk. Now, when it comes to situations like that, it's tough to say because I don't know how you would go about that because we're so used to the journalists reporting everything. Would it just be like with, conflicting differences? Or like how I would probably say I would word something like that of just like creative differences, conflicting differences, like, not seeing eye to eye type of thing to just kind of soften the blow of everything.
Creative differences, probably.
And like, that is what it is. But like, I wouldn't see them being like, we fired Punk because he punched Jack Perry. Like that would not have come out in like an official letter.
He didn't punch. He just choked him out a little.
He punched him.
Choked him a little.
He punched him. He punched him.
He just choked him a little.
He shoved him when his hands were in the air, Dylan.
He said, "What are you gonna do about it?" And Punk said,
"My defenseless
Punk
little
said,
jungle boy."
Shut the fuck up.
My defenseless little jungle boy.
Shut the fuck up.
But no, like, it's tough to think about what it would actually be like. But also, I feel like without journalists, it would be beneficial towards a lot of different fucking companies. You know what I mean? So it's tricky. Like, because there are some good things that I think journalists should be spreading as well. Like, awareness of, like, the Vince McMahon situation. You know what I mean? Or if Velveteen Dream type of shit. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that is what journalists should be talking about is, like, legitimate fucking problems, because backstage altercations and arguments are not new in the wrestling industry, and they never will be. Like, it's never going to be an unheard of thing. It's just, it doesn't need to be known to the public because it is not our information to know. We don't need to know that. What we do need to know is who we should and should not be supporting in wrestling, who is a piece of shit, like a legitimate piece of shit, because I don't think CM Punk is a piece of shit for getting into a fight with the Bucks and Jack. Like, as much as I'll pick fun at him and whatever, like, I don't think he is a piece of fucking garbage for that. Do I think he's a bit of an asshole? Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and say CM Punk is on the same level as fucking Vince McMahon. Absolutely not. That is two completely different fucking beasts.
Yeah, he's not.
One of them...
not pissing and shitting on people.
Yeah, one of them does not deserve to be in the wrestling industry at all because of the absolute fucking atrocities that they have committed. And the other one's just kind of a dick. Like, that's two completely different fucking things.
And who would you rather have, you know?
Yeah, oh my god, if someone said gun to your head, Punk or McMahon, Punk.
Yeah.
Hands down, because even, like, without Vince McMahon Jr., wrestling would still exist. Wrestling would still fucking exist, hands down. It probably would be completely different than what it is today, and I don't necessarily think that would be a bad thing. I just think it would be a different thing, and it would be very interesting to see how it would be.
It'd be a wonderful thing.
But WWE, WWF, whatever it might have ended up, probably would have ended up having to be like WWE still, would have still existed without him, you know? So it's, and Punk probably still would have grown up to be a wrestler.
It'd be a wonderful thing.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's my rant. That's my rant. If you want to add anything, please feel free. If not, you could just skip to the next point.
I'll just patiently wait and see what happens. I think the only thing I want to say is I think if it is true that Tony Khan can add injury time, and this goes for any promoter, any booker, or whatever. If someone's contract is up and they're choosing not to re-sign, and you can put injury time on their contract to, like, purposely fuck them over, fuck you. Yeah. Like, that's fucked. In my opinion, I hate that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's fucking stupid and just childish, but it's unfortunate because it's wrestling. That
should be a personal conversation between the promoter and the wrestler of just being like, hey, look.
Like, that shouldn't even be a fucking thing.
Well, yes, but, like, I could also get it of just being like, if someone did want to resign, I guess it doesn't really matter, but being like, hey, you didn't actually work the full time type of thing. But, like, that's a personal conversation of just being like, hey, look. you were out for 3 months with an injury. Your contract expires here. I'm not, like, if you don't want to resign...
you have 30 days left on your contract? Guess what? You were out for 6 months. I'm adding the 6 months. So you actually got 6 months, buddy.
That's why I feel like it should be the conversation of being like, do you, like, would you still be willing to work the extra time you were out and then we're not going to resign your contract, or do you want to go then? And that's how it should be. If the wrestlers, like, I'll still work the 3 months, cool. There you go. Then that's awesome. And if they're like, no, I have been in talks and I plan to leave, okay, then you're leaving. It should be an option. It shouldn't be like, you know, well, I can do it, so I will. It shouldn't be a mandatory. It should be an option, because, like, you're wrestlers. It's inevitable. You're probably gonna get injured at some point.
And, like, you never hear about someone getting injury time put on their contract unless they're planning on leaving a company, because every promoter fucking does it to be a fucking asshole. And it's like that's why I hate the fucking and I really hope, I think there's like a bill trying to get passed or whatever, not to get fucking political. I don't know what's in control of that. I just saw that there's a thing of, like, they're trying to go away with non-compete clauses.
Yeah.
And shit. Like, I always thought that was fucking stupid with WWE, of like, oh, you can't fucking you can't work for 90 days.
Yeah.
Because we obviously know where the fuck you're going. You're going to the other fucking company, but guess what? You gotta wait 90 days because, like, that's how contracts work. Like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, and like
just let them fucking go to work.
Like, I get it that these wrestlers get paid a pretty penny, and realistically, I would assume could probably go, especially nowadays, 90 days without work. But again, that should be a choice. Your contract should be up, and that's that, and you could either go wherever the hell you want immediately or take time off. You shouldn't have to have this mandatory time off.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's just fucking stupid. But you know what's stupid but funny? So this is just, like, really quick, because you probably didn't see any of this. Maybe you saw this passing by on Twitter or something, but I thought that this was fucking hysterical. So Logan Paul does a podcast.
I hate Logan Paul.
And he had Dom Mysterio.
Oh, I saw it, yeah.
Okay, he had Dom Mysterio on his podcast. And Dom gave him so much shit, like, when they were talking about WWE coming to Japan.
You can't even go to Japan. He's like, I could go to Japan. I had obligations.
You should wear the hat.
Fucking
bro, he kept getting so mad. Dominic's funny as fuck, bro.
You know, the couple things I've been seeing about Dominic the past...
He just wants to fucking grow weed
on a farm.
That's all he wants to do.
I mean, I've never had anything personally against Dom. Like, he's not my... Oh, there's Marsh. I like him.
There's Brandon Marsh.
But, like, I don't have anything personal against Dom. I'm not his biggest fan of him as a wrestler. Again, I like him better as a heel than a face. But, like, he's grown on me a bit, but he's still not my favorite, you know? But, like, after, like, hearing that with the Logan Paul thing, and then I just want to grow weed on a farm, I'm like, dude, man's a vibe, honestly.
He's
like,
funny
dude's just a vibe. A menace, like, honestly. So, you know, that was like, you know, cool guy Dom.
He's not Rey Mysterio's kid.
God, no.
He's not. It's just so fucking funny, bro. No, I would love to smoke weed with Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Rey Mysterio 100% smokes weed.
Probably, yeah.
For his left knee.
His left knee.
His left knee.
But yeah, that was funny.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. And that was an announcement made this week that AEW All In.
Mm-hmm.
But for 2025.
Oh, that's...
It's coming to Texas.
Wait. Oh, you don't have this other thing on here. Okay, well, we'll talk about that for a second, then we're going to segue into something else.
They're coming... It's Y'all In.
Y'all In, yeah.
Y'all In.
Yeah.
In Texas. And it's
funny. It's not my birthday pay-per-view anymore.
But it's funny because I literally said, like, 2 days before this announcement started to you, I was like, someone in the wrestling business, AEW or WWE, needs to run a show at a baseball field because I think it would be a really cool setup. But I specifically said, like, Wrigley Field in Chicago because CM Punk, the Chicago Cubs, or, like, Fenway Park in Boston would be fucking cool. But AEW's doing it where the Texas Rangers play. That's gonna be interesting. It's around my birthday.
Yeah, and literally like 2 days before this was announced, I said, well, yeah, All In is the same time every year, so it's always going to be my birthday pay-per-view.
But it is interesting, so they're not going to Wembley next year. That's very interesting as well. Of course, there's a lot of discourse about that, of like, well, maybe they're just trying something different, or, you know...
It's really honestly gonna
you go from 80,000 the first year at Wembley to, I think it's only 50 this year.
50,000 right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I also think it's gonna be a little bit more determined next year if the Jags have a Wembley game.
I don't know. It's interesting, but also it's not even that. It's more determined. Can AEW draw a stadium in America? They already
think so.
They already did it in London. Can they do what WWE does? Is pretty much the question as well.
I honestly kind of think so.
I've
seen a lot of people hyped about it being in the States.
That's the thing. Obviously, a lot of people in the States and everything. I forget how much this holds. Hold on. Texas Rangers Stadium. Home of the fucking Texas fucking Rangers. Bullshit. Globe Life Field. That's what it's called. So, the capacity, this is for baseball, 40,300.
I think they could.
The record attendance is for Morgan Wallen, 43,598.
I think they could. Because also, like, All In, when it was announced 2 years ago, or last year, whatever, was immediately announced for overseas.
Yes.
And not that people were, like, pissed about it or anything like that, but people were like, fuck, I wanted to go see this, but it's in London. There were people from the United States that traveled to London for All In. Like, so...
And that happens for all shows like that.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I think it's gonna draw. I personally think that it's going to fill the stadium, if not come damn near close to filling the stadium. I think they can do it, especially if All In this year sold 50,000 tickets, and we're talking a attendance record for 43,000. I think they can do it.
Like, I personally think it's cool, but that's just me because it's at a baseball park. And a little fun fact about me, I like the aesthetic of baseball parks because they're just really fucking cool looking. They're all different. It's not like NFL stadiums where it's all the same, kinda. Baseball parks all look different. Yeah, there's a baseball diamond, but like the outfield shit is all different and everything. Like, we're watching the Phillies and Atlanta Braves right now. The Atlanta Braves Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia is completely different than the Phillies Stadium in Philadelphia. It's completely fucking different. It's a baseball park. I like the aesthetic of it. If I had fucking money, I would do the dirty MLB parks in a year. Like, I would go to, if I was able to, I would still like to do that. Go to every MLB stadium before I fucking die. It would be nice. I've only done 2. I would like to do more. And hopefully when we go to Canada next year, like, that'd be a nice one to check off.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get a passport.
That'd be a nice one to check off.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it in Texas. I'm excited to see it in a stadium. That'll be cool. I think they can do it.
What was the other thing?
The other thing was I saw today on the internet, and apparently this was like announced like 6 days ago. So this was announced like a week ago, and for some reason this is the first time I'm seeing it today. There was a trailer released for AEW All In 2023, a documentary.
Oh yeah, I things have been fucking crazy. I seen it on there. We gotta watch that. We'll probably talk about it on the next
Well, the trailer,
podcast.
it's not out yet. The trailer came out.
No, I think it's out now.
Is it? I don't think it's out yet.
No, I believe it's out. Hold on. Because I saw it pop up on my YouTube the other day and I saved it, I believe.
I just saw the trailer. Dylan's looking right now, by the way.
Oh, here it is. The mini doc. It's 11 and a half minutes long.
Oh.
It's right here. It was released a day ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, well, I didn't see that. But yeah, so that's the thing.
We'll probably watch that during the week and talk about it next episode. I meant to, like, I have it memorized.
But yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was released a day ago, and I haven't heard like anything crazy coming out from it, like can't be too much crazy stuff going on in there.
I think from what I heard, it seems like it's just like a
behind the scenes thing,
but not what you think it is, brawling. But it's like how this happened.
Yeah, thing. And like I always like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
It's like a miniature version of the WrestleMania documentary.
Yeah.
Because the Rock wasn't here to produce it and be like, shit, make me look good. We love you, Rock.
Okay, next thing.
The next thing, this was very cool, and I'm very happy that this happened. Zack Sabre Jr. wins the G1 Climax.
Deserved.
So he's gonna get a title shot for the IWGP title.
And he's gonna win it.
And he's gonna win it because it's about fucking time.
And then he's gonna have a title run, and then he's gonna go to AEW.
New Japan can be fucking good again. Let's move on. So when Raw was happening last week, my eyes were dilated because my eye doctor sucks and all of that bullshit and whatnot. My eyes are better and everything. I've been fine, knock on wood, and whatnot. So we're just taking it day by day at this fucking point. So we didn't watch Raw, so there's nothing about Raw. It was actually kind of like a slow wrestling week. Like last week was pretty hectic with like just a lot of things too and whatnot. But a few things from Dynamite. Lyssie was watching it live. I pretty much fell asleep halfway through because I was fucking tired and everything. But there's two things we can talk about on Dynamite that were interesting and cool and sad as well. Let's just talk about the Darby and Jack feud.
Jack has a belt, his own belt.
No, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that later on. Don't talk. We're on Dynamite right now. This was before Collision.
Oh, that was Collision.
Yes.
See, my brain's all sorts of fucked up.
But I'm also just talking about the feud itself and the build up and everything because this has been actually like a pretty like interesting feud.
No shit, they're great together.
Like it's been an interesting feud.
Jack tried to kill him.
I was gonna say yeah, this was the one where Jack tried fucking running him over pretty much. And
he pinned him in between like what are those, like a pull down garage door? He pinned Darby down and then had like a fucking one of those box carts or whatever and like tried to run it into his fucking head and security was like no. And Jack was like, no, I want to murder him. You know what? Fuck you, Darby. I want you in a coffin match.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna be a coffin match. But no, the build to this has been really good. Again, Darby and Jack make magic together.
I don't know how, but they're the two that ended up being like the main focal point of Team AEW versus Team Elite pretty much. This whole feud. It's been them.
Yeah, because the main focal point with the Bucks is going to inevitably be Kenny and Coda.
If that happens.
It will, because Coda's going to come back when Kenny's back.
But then I saw a report today about Kenny that he still has pain, but he's like...
He's better.
He's kind of training, but he can't take any bumps.
Yeah, so he's doing like moderate intensity training right now, which is good. He still does have some pain in his abdomen and is unable to take bumps, so there's no determined time yet when he's going to be back. But he's doing better. Like, he's able to exercise. He's able to move. He's able to... So that's good.
And, yeah, I saw the thing Coda saying that...
Yeah, Coda will be back when Kenny's back.
Yeah, he's just doing DDT right now.
And, I mean, that just lines up for Coda and Kenny versus the Bucks. And that's going to be a thing when that happens. But right now, the Bucks are in limbo. And, honestly, Jack's hot. Like, and I'm not just saying, like, he's a cutie pie. Like, he's hot right now. He's been doing some good fucking shit.
Yeah, honestly, this is wild to say. Jack Perry is probably the hottest out of everyone in the Elite, and that's saying something when Okada's there. Okada's not even on the card for All In.
Because the thing is, people hate Jack so much. Personally, Okada's not on the card? What's he doing?
He's facing Claudio this week on Dynamite in Wales.
They still could add him. They could still add him.
I know they could still add it, but it's just crazy at this point in time right now. Okada, Ospreay, and Mercedes. You can argue with me if you want, but those three are the big three signings.
Yeah.
Mercedes has a match. Ospreay has a match. They're both in feuds. They both have stories going on right now. Main focal point stories. Here's Okada.
You think Mox is going to come back from vacation and
I don't know.
and challenge Okada for Wembley?
That'd be wild.
Because you think that Mox is going to miss Wembley?
I don't know.
It's going to be weird not having him on the card. Honestly, Mox has been gone on vacation for long enough. I could see it happening. If it's Thursday when you're listening to this, if that happened, I called it. Okay, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday when we're recording this. But no. See, the thing is with Jack, people fucking hate Jack,
Well, yeah.
and like not even just because of his wrestling style or whatever. People hate Jack because of the fucking CM Punk bullshit. That's no surprise to anybody. People legitimately do not like him, but people legitimately do not like him in the way that people legitimately do not like CM Punk, where they're like, I can't stand this guy, but still continue to see what he's doing. Almost like a hate watch type thing. Where like, I hate this person so much, I need to see what they're doing so I can bitch about
Yeah,
it.
they got PDS.
Punk
Punctuation system.
Yeah. Syndrome. So basically, people don't like Jack, but they're watching what Jack's doing because they want to complain about what Jack's doing. And that is what it is. But because they complain about him so much, he's talked about. He's hot. People are seeing his stuff is getting the traction that it needs to be getting nonetheless. It's working in his favor. He's made it work in his favor since he came back. Since he was even in New Japan, he made it work in his favor.
Yeah.
So realistically speaking, I mean, yeah, put the fucking belt on him and make him feud with the CM Punk guy.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about predictions later, but Jack's gonna beat him. He's gonna beat him at his own game.
Oh yeah, no, I'll say that too, and I'll tell you why when we get there.
Okay, yeah, because I think we have the exact same opinion on that, or the exact same viewpoint on that. But yeah, Jack and Darby, great. They're always good together. They're like what I would call a wrestling soulmate type thing. Where, like, if you put these two in the ring together, you put these two in a feud together, you know you're making magic. So, I am excited. I think that might honestly be the match that I'm the most excited for.
I'll have to look at the card when we go through it. But, next thing, Bryan Danielson, Time of Your Life.
I don't want to talk about that.
It was welly put together.
That was so embarrassing for me. Because I'm sitting here while you're asleep.
And you're just crying.
Like, I'm trying not to, like, make noise because you're asleep. And I don't want you to wake up and be like, what's wrong? But then, like, you would probably take 10 seconds to realize that Green Day's playing in the background and Bryan Danielson's on the screen. And then you'd start crying. Oh, my God. How embarrassing for me that I'm just sitting here sobbing my eyes out to fucking Bryan Danielson and Green Day, and I'm like, this is like the most unfair thing, and I feel like I want to sue for emotional damages. Honestly,
we'll get the predictions later, like we keep saying. He better win. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm not ready for him to go, man.
I have my theory, which I think might be the same theory as you.
I'm not ready to go, man. So yeah, it was well put together, and I can't believe Tony Khan got the rights to Time of Your Life by Green Day. What the fuck? Speaking of Time of Your Life by Green Day, and speaking of Green Day, so I don't know if you saw this. So, if you know Green Day, if you're a fan of Green Day, the tradition at every Green Day show is they close out with Time of Your Life. they played a show, I forget where, but it started storming, and they still had to play Time of Your Life. But it was like a tornado coming through, so they needed to like evacuate like ASAP. Billy Joe Armstrong was like, well, no, we don't leave until we play Time of Your Life, so we're gonna play a sped up version of that. And like he was just like, and he started singing it like very sped up. Like, all right, everyone, leave, come on.
You know, it was wild too, because when we saw Green Day, when they were playing Time of Your Life was literally it was the same day, like the moment that Fuego got signed to AEW.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because you knew Fuego.
Yeah.
Knew personally Fuego. Yeah. So that was crazy. Yeah. That was fucking insane.
I was like, oh shit.
But yeah, that was a lot for me to take in personally, honestly.
Moving on to SmackDown quick. I had it on in the background, but then me and my our roommate got really high, and we just decided to shoot the shit, and then we literally decided to actually shoot the shit and go find the pool table in our apartment complex.
Because apparently we have one.
And we played pool, but from what I saw, this is the only thing that I saw that caught my eye was the Bloodline left Roman laying.
All right.
And Dave Meltzer false reporting again that like they were keeping Jacob Fatu away from Roman, and Jacob Fatu fucking laid out Roman.
I have conversation piece. So Monday, before I went into work, prior night, I brought home some leftovers. And I'm like, there's a lot. So I was like, I know some people who would love these. So I texted my good friend Mark, and I said, hey, are you and Anna going to be at the shop tomorrow? Because I know Mark's been working Mondays. And he was like, well, I will be, but Anna won't. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Even though I would love to see Anna. I'm like, I have some leftovers that I want to bring down for you guys. So as long as one of you are there, I mean, they'll be good for like a day or two. And I went down, I brought them over, and I was hanging out with him a little bit before work. And we were talking about this. Because he was like, I don't understand, and I agree with him. He's like, I don't understand how you're going to have this guy booked 4 years as champion. No one can fucking touch him. And yeah, there's the interferences with the family and whatnot. I get that. But you have this dude be an indestructible force to be reckoned with for 4 fucking years. And then the second he steps back in the ring, he's laid out.
Because it's wrestling. He's a babyface now. He needs someone to be his fucking opposing opposite. And it's not Solo. It's Jacob Fatu. This is a way to build up Jacob Fatu as a fucking threat. Also, it's wrestling. It shouldn't make sense, but I've seen this. Who should help Roman? It's obviously going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline.
No, I want Cody to help him.
That's where that is where they're leading to. Obviously, that's what everyone wants. I want that. Probably Lyssie wants that. It's Bloodline versus Bloodline. It's a tale as old as time in wrestling. The logical thing is, and there's a lot of unlogical things in wrestling. We can be here for hours for this podcast. I'm surprised we actually broke over an hour on this podcast, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you want to rant about the fucking Lucha Bros.
I want to rant about journalists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But why should the Bloodline reform to help Roman against the old Bloodline? Like, just let me talk here for a minute. Why should Jey Uso come back and help Roman, where he was literally abused by Roman and everything? He fought Roman. Why should Sammy come back and help Roman? Like, I understand Jimmy, but like, why should they help Roman? Why would any babyface help Roman? You know what I mean? Like, why would Cody help Roman? Why would this person... Like, think of all the people that Roman faced during his title run. none of them should help him.
No, I agree with that.
Not, like, that's the big logical thing. But also, Kevin Owens, being the most logical person in wrestling again, I didn't write this down. I forget if this was from this week's SmackDown. So it's Kevin Owens versus Cody at Bash in Berlin. Mm-hmm. You want to know how the match was made? So Cody Rhodes came out and was like, Kevin, thank you for being by my side, helping me face the bloodline. I want to give you a title shot. Kevin Owens was like, I don't deserve a title shot. I haven't done jack fucking shit. Like, that's also just kind of an unlogical thing, maybe. Because, like, when, like, you would think you're in wrestling, you would want to go after the world title.
He's a humble man. He's always been a humble man.
Yes. Like, again, there's ways to look into it and everything. But he was like, I don't deserve it, win-loss record, blah, blah, blah. So they do a backstage segment where Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Nick Aldis are all talking there. And then Nick Aldis was like, well, Roman Reigns has been talking to me, and he wants a rematch. And then Kevin Owens flipped shit. Like, Kevin Owens, being logical, flipped shit and was like, why does Roman deserve a fucking chance, pretty much? Like, because he was a champion for 4 years, X, Y, and Z, and all this. The rematch clause hasn't been enforced in years. But it was just a ploy for Kevin Owens to snap out and be like, I accept. And
Kevin Owens being the only one who watches the product is still my favorite fucking, like, underlying theory.
But, like, there's a lot of, like, yes, we know what everyone wants, and that is Bloodline versus Bloodline. That's what we're going to get, and it's going to be good. But when you start breaking down the logical things of it, you're like, why should these people help Roman? Like, think of all the shit he's done the past 4 years. Why should Jey Uso come back to help Roman?
No, and I get that. And I also get that, like, you know, the story going into it is, like, you know, can Roman do it on his own?
That's the thing.
Can he actually do it without the help of other people? And I get that, but I don't know. Like, I feel like this dude being top tier for the longest time, like, no one could fucking touch him, and then just immediately getting beaten down is not, like, it didn't need to happen so quickly, and it's not what it needed to be. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen a Hulk Hogan match?
I'm just saying, like, personally, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, and I kind of agree with Mark on this standpoint. He said he thinks it was too soon for Roman to come back. And I get that. I definitely get that.
WrestleMania SummerSlam was a good, like, fine line, in my opinion.
And
wasn't too short, wasn't too long.
I feel like, honestly, if they were just gonna have him come back and immediately jump into this the way that they jumped into it, like, I don't really like it all that much. Like, we could have had, like, I don't know, more of a standoffish type of approach with it. We could have had, like, more story going into it of just, like, maybe Roman trying to, like, atone for his sins, if you will, type of aspect, and people just being like, nah, man, like, I don't want to hear it type of thing. We could have had more interactions and then finally brought it.
We also got to take into account us fans, or we're also a big part in this of constantly chanting we want Roman. So that kind of, like, probably maybe had a factor to play into this.
And I get it, but now it feels rushed. Like, it doesn't feel like there was a proper time frame in between the two things. Like, I feel like we needed a little bit more of a build. Roman's back. He's here. Now, like, make the fans, like, I want to like, see him in the ring with them. I want to see him in the ring with them.
People over the past 4 years bitched and moaned and complained about Roman and was like, holy fuck that, like, he's never defending the belt. He's never here. Oh my God. Like, why is he not dropping the belt. It should be Cody's time. We got Cody crybabies. We got grown men fucking crying for Cody Rhodes to win the fucking title. It finally happens. Thank God it finally happens. Roman can go away now. A couple months later. We want Roman. We want Roman.
See,
because Solo Sikoa can't fucking do math.
It's because Solo sucks.
Yeah.
Because Solo fucking sucks. Like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like we could have diminished the bloodline completely after Cody won the belt. Had whoever do whatever, wherever. Their own little thing. You could have kept, like, Paul Heyman with Solo or whatever, right? You didn't need it to be this new bloodline. You didn't need to do that. And because they did the new bloodline...
Don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
Is why they wanted Roman back. You know what I mean? We could have had... And the thing is, then you also wonder, okay, well, where does Roman come back in? Because what's going on? Like this, that. But it's too convoluted now. And I just feel like, personally, we should have had more build leading up to him interacting directly with the bloodline like that before just showing up and, like... Because, I don't know, like, could you imagine, like, Roman going around, trying to atone for his sins, talking to the fans, really putting himself over as a fucking babyface, and then finally, like the fans are behind him, the fans want him to, like, you know, to be a better version of Roman or whatever, and they're, like, really rallying behind him, and he finally comes face to face with the bloodline, he finally comes face to face with Jacob and Solo, and then they finally beat him down, and he's getting his ass handed to him, and then the fucking Usos music hits, and then they come running out, and then they finally, the Hangman and the Young Bucks thing.
It's gonna hit like crack when the original bloodline reforms. Yes, like it's gonna go crazy.
I just feel like we could have really, I hate to say milked it, but we really could have done more with it, and like had Jimmy and Jay come out and, like, you know, Roman's sitting there and they help him up and they hug and, but like, everything's reunited. The thing.
There's so much explaining that needs to go on to reform the original bloodline.
And they should have started with it.
There's Roman and Jimmy. There's really nothing there to begin with. They were cool to begin with. But there's Jimmy and Jay.
Yep.
That it's like they just fought at WrestleMania. Then there's nothing between Jay and Sammy. They're cool. They're fucking best buds.
Yeah, they're besties.
And that's the way Sammy's going to come into this, is because he's Jay's best bud. They need their Usi. And then there's the whole convoluted story of Roman and Jay that started all of this. They were the start of all of this.
We needed to explain it first. Like, that's just my thing.
There's a lot of things that I'm sure is going to be explained. Like, I think the end goal is Rock versus Roman.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
The Rock is 100% the mind behind the new bloodline. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I just feel like we could have really started with getting the old bloodline back together first, and then going into the action with it.
But that's the thing. I don't think we need the new bloodline we need a reason for the old bloodline to get back together. We need a reason, and that reason is they were the ones that were constantly on top, wreaking havoc, going crazy. Now you have the new bloodline doing anything. They fucking took out Paul Heyman.
Where's Paul Heyman been?
Like,
is he coming back?
Yeah, he's probably coming back. They just need to write him off for a little bit until Roman came back.
Can you imagine Roman's getting beaten down again by the new bloodline, and then the ECW theme hits, and fucking Paul Heyman comes running out?
God damn, that'd be crazy. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into this, and it's also just wild too that since Roman has come back, he has not said a word. He comes out, and then there's like a brawling segment between him and Solo, Like
I don't like it.
Like he hasn't spoke to the fans yet.
I don't like it. I think he should have. I really think he should have. I think he should have spoken to the fans and got himself over.
He's already
over,
thing.
and I get that, but like that, I feel, and it's tough to say. It's tough to like explain like what I'm meaning, because like he's over with the fans. He has the connection with the fans and whatnot. But I really want to see him speak to and establish with the fans first.
That first acknowledge me as a babyface is gonna fucking
That's
move
what
mountains.
That's what I wanted.
That's gonna move mountains.
That's what I wanted. But
like that crowd is gonna go ballistic.
We'll see. I'm not a fan of it right now personally. I'm not. I don't like the way that they're doing it. Again, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, see how things go. But as for right now, it's played out. We're grasping at straws, and it feels like we're rushing it. So, personally, that's how I feel.
We'll just wait and see.
Moving
on to Collision. There's two things to talk about Collision. One thing made me very hyped when it was announced, and I watched it the next morning, and I was a happy boy watching it. And that is Hologram versus Angelico.
Yeah. That was a good match.
These boys cooked. Tony Khan, book Angelico more, because man, I love Angelico. I love Hologram. These guys, man, book a best of 7. I want them
series.
Main event of All In, main event of All Out, everything. What a match. 7 fucking and 24 stars.
That was a tough one because I was back and forth watching the football game while watching it.
It was fun. I just wanted to bring that up. That was fun. Let's talk about Jack Perry's new belt.
Let's talk about it. And
you can talk about it more. I saw like things on Twitter, and I saw the video that
he made it.
Yeah, that like he went around, took the plate off, and I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he made it.
he was the word smoltered.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Don't know what he was doing, but
whatever.
He was just doing shit with the belt.
Yeah, no, that belt, and like again, no bias, no bias. That belt is fucking beautiful. That belt is so fucking cool.
It is a cool belt.
And Jackalis Perry, fuck you, because now I just have to go buy the TNT toy replica belt and do that myself. So thanks for the tutorial, by the way, too, of like how you painted it, because I know plastic and metal are completely fucking different, but the step-by-step tutorial is actually very helpful. So thanks. Now I know the products you used. Spray paint and just regular, like almost probably some sort of acrylic. It looked like you were using, for the red. And how you got like all the details, how you did that. Thank you for that. But fuck you, because now I have to spend money and go do that myself. No, really fucking cool belt. Really fucking cool belt. Honestly, again, not to sound biased, might be my favorite custom belt that they've brought out. Although I do still really, really, really liked House of Black's custom trios belts.
Yeah, I think that one still takes the cake.
Those were fucking beautiful.
I don't care. I like the fucking American belt.
Shut up. Shut up.
It's so fucking funny.
Shut up. No, those custom trios belts were also fucking beautiful. It's just like, I got something for like, cause that was like black with like white gold or silver or whatever you want to call it. And like, it kind of has a similar vibe. Like Jack's is not completely blacked out, but like that nice matte worn black. And, like, with the peaks of the silver shining through and then the red splatter on it, like, it's just so fucking nice. Like, it looks so nice. The video of watching him making it was really fucking cool, too. Like, that was really interesting to watch. And
it made me watch it because I was like, how the fuck did he do this?
Yeah, right? And he's just like, hey, guys, while I was suspended, I decided to take up crafting metal because fuck it, apparently. But no, that was really nifty, and I can't believe I'm gonna have to fucking paint my own belt now. God damn it.
It's fucking wild.
God damn it. Of course I have to do this.
Anyway, moving on to All In Predictions, because it is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday, and All In's this Sunday.
And of course, in typical AEW fashion, there may be some matches announced this week on Dynamite or even Collision.
Yeah, we have 10 matches here.
Or no, that's Saturday. Right? The 25th is a Saturday?
No, the pay-per-view is Sunday.
Oh, it is Sunday?
At 1 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, that's what threw me for the loop. It's at 1 o'clock, that's right.
But,
or on Collision, there might be some matches announced. So we are just, as of Tuesday, talking about the matches that are announced at the moment.
Yes, and again, even though you're hearing this on Thursday and there was probably matches announced last night, well, we didn't fucking see
We don't know about it.
Yeah, we don't fucking know about it. There's 10 matches right now. There's probably 10 more. There's probably 10 more announced. Fucking rude. Anyway, on the pre-show, Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Ishii in a mixed tag match.
I actually don't know.
I hate this.
I kind of want to say Willow and Ishii to start the show off happy.
Probably.
I'm assuming it's starting. But I don't know, because Chris has been wreaking havoc, but she also has the unfortunate circumstance of Stokely Hathaway with her.
Fucking Ishii's gonna pin Stokely.
Probably.
God.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
Hopefully Ishii goes back to New Japan after this and his summer vacation in AEW is done, because I'm sick and tired of seeing Ishii.
Okay.
He's the worst wrestler in the world. Anyway. For the women's title, Toni Storm versus Mariah May. It's going to be Mariah May.
Yeah. I could see it being Mariah.
It's going to be Mariah May, and not this match. Not this match. I was going to say something, but not this match. Mm-hmm. MJF versus Will Ospreay for the American Championship.
Will.
This is probably my match that I'm looking forward to.
I am looking forward to this match. Will's winning. Will's winning it back.
Will's winning. He's getting his Wembley moment. I'm excited for this match.
Although I could see them pulling a fast one and making MJF beat Will in his hometown, home country, whatever.
Yeah.
I see it being Will.
Yeah. In a coffin match for the TNT title, Jack Perry versus Darby Allin.
Jack.
It's going to be Jack.
Because Darby has a world championship title shot. And I believe from another prediction later on in this card, that Darby's going to win the world title at Wrestle Dream in Washington.
No, his world title shot's at Grand Slam.
No, is it really?
That's why I was going to say, Jack's winning this match. Darby is going to not win his match at Grand Slam, but he will beat Jack in a rematch at Wrestle Dream in Seattle. In his hometown.
Oh, no.
Darby also is that guy to rather hold the TNT title than the world title.
That's so true, but I had a whole thing in my brain planned. Oh, I didn't realize it was at Grand Slam. God damn it. Well, my dream moment is now gone.
Anyway, for the TBS title, Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker.
Mercedes, and then Jamie comes back.
Yeah. Mercedes, because Camille's going to help Mercedes beat down Britt Baker, and then rave music will hit, and the crowd will be happy, and Dylan will be happy.
I'll be so fun. Look, if I'm going to say it right now, if Jamie Hayter doesn't come back at Wembley, she's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, that's
honestly.
That's just it. Like, if she is not coming back, she's gone.
Yeah. Honestly.
It has been over 400 days.
Yeah.
Since we have seen Jamie Hayter. I need her back right fucking now.
And then a gauntlet match, Casino Gauntlet, for a future AEW World Championship match. The only person that is known to be in this match right now is Orange Cassidy. I don't know who the fuck's going to be in this match. They're giving away title opportunities left and fucking right. There's too much going on. I hate this. These matches are cool, though, because I like the concept of how they do these matches.
And honestly, I hope that they don't announce everyone. I want some surprises.
Yeah. I think that there'll be some really, since it being like All In and everything, it'll probably be like some cool surprises.
Yeah.
But I hate just that it's for a future AEW World Title shot because Darby already got one. There's so much going on, but I like the concept of these fucking matches. This is like one thing AEW. This is like an AEW match that they have gotten right that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's better. I've liked the Casino Battle Royal. I dug the concept because it was different. I like this better, though. Where it's like a Royal Rumble, but it's just randomly timed.
Well, they ripped off the clusterfuck.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's still cool of how they do it. And this is one thing I will always praise AEW on. Just as long as they don't fucking kill it and do it constantly.
Yeah.
Do it every couple of months. Once a year, something like that. Just don't kill it. I like this, though. This will be a cool midway point in the show. Do it midway through the show. Last chance match for the FTW Championship. If Hook loses, he can never challenge for the FTW title as long as Jericho is champion. Chris Jericho versus Hook. Hook's winning.
Hook's winning.
And hopefully Chris Jericho goes away. Anyway, next. And boy, we got things to talk about this. I mean, we kind of knew that this was going to happen, but it's a shame that it's come to this. And that is a 3-way tag team match for the AEW Tag Team Championships between the 3 teams that seem to be the only 3 teams in tag teams in AEW anymore. And that is the Young Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed.
Did you see the FTR and Acclaimed match?
Yes and no. I saw that it went to a time limit draw, and I feel like FTR has been doing that way too much.
Mm-hmm. It was a solid match, though.
I feel... was it good, at least?
Yeah, it was a good match.
I just feel like an FTR match has been doing that way too much.
I get why it had to for the triple threat to be a thing.
They should have just done the Bucks... They should have just done the typical fucking Bucks come out and cause a double DQ and been like, haha, neither one of you guys can challenge again. Guess what? No! 3-way match.
Yeah.
Like, it should have... I'd rather that.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than another time limit draw, because FTR has been doing that too much as of late, but it's just a damn shame that this company was built on tag team division and we are relying on the same 3 teams.
Well, the match will be good. At least we could say that. The match is going to be good. And it's going to be a good match.
And at least we're not getting Young Bucks FTR fucking number 9.
Which I have thoughts. So, we're going to talk a little bit about All In from last year. We're gonna backtrack, right? Because I have something that I feel like legitimately could have been way better than this triple threat match that did still result in the Bucks and FTR at Wembley again this year. But it would have been better. And that is, we saw the Bucks and FTR last year. FTR beat the Bucks. They refused to shake their hand. Then we had the Young Bucks, FTR, can they coexist type of storyline, and they had that phenomenal fucking match together where they were working together. Their styles are so different yet blended together so beautifully in a working together moment that I quite literally strive for more of it, and we'll never get to see it. Because for whatever reason, the storyline was fantastic that they were going in the direction with, and then out of nowhere it just halted and stopped, and we never got anything else with it. We never mentioned it again. We never brought it up. We never talked about it at all. Fast forward a couple of months, the All In footage is released. The Bucks make it a point.
I'm just going to turn down the AC.
Okay. The Bucks make it a point that when they're talking about the footage, and they're directly talking to FTR about the footage, that the only reason FTR even got the one-up over them at Wembley was because of the dramatic bullshit that went on backstage, that they were distracted, that they had to talk to the press about it, that they had to do this, that they had to do that, and they weren't focused, and they were not on their A game, and that's why FTR got the one-up on them. Show the footage. They never mentioned again as directed towards the Young Bucks and FTR. They never fucking speak about it again. And of course, all the momentum shifts to Jack, as it was more so planned to shift to Jack. But my question is, why did the Bucks mention the thing with FTR and their match at Wembley, and then not even touch on it like ever again afterwards? And then, Bucks get the belts, and we're here and we're there, and they're like, oh, FTR's like, oh, Bucks, we're coming back at you for our belts, and we're going to work our way back up in the tag division, yada, yada, yada. And then the Acclaim's like, no, we're getting the belts, and whatever. And now we're here. My point is, within this entire timeline of events that has gone on throughout the year, from last year to this year, we had at least 2, if not 3, solid opportunities to work a year-long story between the Young Bucks and FTR, between them losing at Wembley, and then working together with FTR, having this weird thing go on in whatever direction they decided they wanted to take it, of just being like, they could have even done something of just like, you know what? Let's gain FTR's trust. We're going to be the ultimate, like, babyface team that no one saw coming. Like, no one would have ever seen the 4 of us working together and getting along. They could have done the stereotypical, let's gain their trust and then stab them in the back because we're the fucking EVPs. This is our goddamn company, and there's too much nonsense going on, and we're going to be serious about things. Stab them in the back, bring up the All In footage, because eventually that was going to fucking happen at this, within the timeline that this is going on. Bring up the All In footage and be like, hey, you screwed us. Your guys screwed us last year. We couldn't be on our A game. And it was because of you and your friends that you had to keep around here that turned this place into the terrible, toxic work environment that it is. And it's all your fault. It is all your fault, while simultaneously doing the toxic thing of gaining someone's trust and then stabbing them in the back and them being the toxic ones all along, because that's the Young Bucks and they're the best when they're toxic heels. Stab them in the back, bring up the beef that they had with them at Wembley, and yada, 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 and then merge that into the storyline going into Wembley, basically being like, we deserve our moment at Wembley Stadium that you stole from us, that your guys stole from us, and we're going to kick your fucking ass, we're going to retain our belts in Wembley, and we're going to get that moment that we deserve. That would have been a much better fucking storyline if the plan at the end of the day was going to be the Bucks and FTR, whether it was themselves or in a trios match, but at the end of the day, them still having a wrestling match together at Wembley. If that was the go-to plan, we wasted a year where we could have built up a good fucking story.
Why is the Acclaimed involved then?
I don't know! That's the thing. Like, my thought process and my theory, the Acclaimed is not even a part of this. My thought process of what would have been better would have simply just been FTR and the Bucks if we actually built the story with all the weird, convoluted, like, tidbits of things that's been going on with the Bucks and FTR throughout the year that have not been actually any sort of cohesive thought process. They've just been storylines that have stopped, things that have happened, and things that we have mentioned that has never been touched on again. When we could have really connected this and then actually gotten, like, an ending match at Wembley where it all began, where this whole storyline even started, and then cleared it, and then that's it, that's done, we're over with it, that's the final. That, to me, as a standalone, would have been a million times better than just some random thrown together match of just, like, I get it that, like, they want the belts and this, that, and the other thing, and they're battling over who's actually the number 1 spot or whatever, and it's just there. The story is just there. It's not a good story, and that's what bothers me about it. Because the Bucks are known for good storytelling. And I really feel like we could have had that solid storytelling, and the Acclaim didn't even need to be fucking involved.
Who's winning this match?
The Bucks. The Bucks are winning.
Yeah, honestly, the tag division doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter who fucking wins this match. Like, I can't believe I'm saying that this is probably... I like FTR, but I can give 2 fucks about this fucking match. The tag division is not the fucking same that was even last year at this point. The tag division absolutely fucking sucks. The tag division in both fucking companies are fucking atrocious right now.
That's what I'm saying, like, going back to Lucha Bros, we could be doing more with them. They're a fucking tag team.
Yeah, instead of, we'll get to this match in a second. Instead of, the original plan was to have the Lucha Bros being in a trios titles match. Fuck those belts too, honestly. If you wanted to do a triple threat match, honestly, Young Bucks, FTR, and Lucha Bros would have been fucking cool. And there could have been a cool story played out there of, well, the Young Bucks are the EVPs that are holding all the gold and have all the power, this, that, and the other thing. FTR and the Lucha Bros are the biggest rivals to the Young Bucks, and they want the tag titles. And honestly, I don't think we ever got an FTR versus Lucha Bros. Maybe we did like once, I forget. But I think a three-way between those three teams would have been really fucking cool.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been great. And honestly, even with it being a shorter storyline, because again, like, the Acclaimed's not as hot as the Acclaimed has been.
No,
the Lucha Bros,
compare when they won the titles the first time, no.
The Lucha Bros, even though they haven't been on TV, I would argue are hotter than the Acclaimed. People still love the Lucha Bros. They still want to see the Lucha Bros. We're talking, like, basic, like, OGs here. And we're talking the OGs that started the whole damn thing, and now being on this power trip, and then the baby faces that, like you said, were the biggest rivals, but are also over as fuck with the fans in two very different styles.
It would have been a cool dynamic.
It would have been. And again, you don't need a year-long story like I'm talking about to go into that. That is a very easy to read story.
I also just hate standard three-way tag matches. It's fucking stupid. I wish that there was, like, a stipulation at least, but, like, there's a stipulation with this fucking match, and this match is gonna be all sorts of fucking bananas. It's a four-way ladder match. London ladder match. For the AEW Trios Championships. It is the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black versus wild card winners that are to be announced, I think, on Collision.
I mean, it's a ladder match. It's gonna be fun.
I don't know who the fuck the fourth team's gonna be. So there's 4 teams of 3. That's 12 fucking people.
Yo, what if it's Dustin and the Von Erichs?
That would be really cool. I actually was thinking about that.
They are champions.
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about this match today, and I was like, Dustin and the Von Erichs would be cool. But, like, Dustin's wild. He's a double champion.
Yeah, he won the belts with Sammy.
Yeah, it's just
weird.
Cool. And then he's a 6-man tag champ with the Von Erichs. Okay.
He's really just going balls to the wall right now. That would be cool.
Dustin Rhodes is honestly probably the best tag team wrestler out there right now. If he's holding 2 tag belts.
Honestly, yeah. No, honestly, I kind of hope that that's gonna be the fourth team. That'd be really cool.
I don't even know who the 4th team can fucking be at this point. I don't even know what the match is. I don't fucking know.
Watch it be Death Triangle.
That'd be the fun.
Dude, Pac's not booked, right?
Half these people, Okada's not booked.
Pac's not booked. It's my prediction.
Mox ain't booked. Daniel Garcia ain't booked.
It's gonna be either Death Triangle or Dustin and the Von Erichs. That's my predictions.
It's gonna be like the Varsity Athletes or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like Maximum Male Models with like someone else with their partner. I don't fucking know. So, no, Maximum Male Models been like doing pretty fucking decent in AEW.
They've been solid.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. But what the fuck, man? Fucking that gimmick's fucking crazy. Anyway.
Oh, who do you think's gonna win?
Oh, fuck. Probably the Patriarchy.
Yeah, I think Patriarchy's retaining. I don't see anyone.
Probably. Because there's still a story to be told there.
We could just make Hook pull double duty and have it be Joe Shibata and Hook as the 4th team.
Bro, Samoa Joe is the world champion and he's not even booked. He was facing CM Punk last year at this event. Not even booked.
Joe's not the world champion.
He was, I said.
Joe that's right.
World champion.
That's right. It was the world champion versus the real world champion.
No, I'm not talking about like this time at All In last year. Joe was a world champion and he's not even booked.
Oh yeah, right. Because MJF was the. Oh my God, so much has happened in a year. Yes, you're right. You're right. I understand what you're saying right now. Because his match with Punk was for the real world title. But yeah, Samoa Joe's just having fun.
Hangman and Jeff Jarrett aren't even booked. They're probably gonna.
They will be. They will be.
They better.
And I'm gonna say Hangman's winning that match.
No, Jeff Jarrett's got to win.
Hangman's winning.
Taylor Swift is playing there the night before. He'll come out with Taylor Swift. Baby, I got bad blood.
I will simply blow my brains out.
I don't know about you, but I feel it.
Okay, next match.
Anyway, next match is title versus career for the AEW World Championship, and that is Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson.
See, that was my dream.
Bryan Danielson wins. We all go home happy. Yay!
My dream that I had, or thought that I had, before my dreams have been crushed, was Danielson wins the title. Darby goes to face Danielson at Wrestle Dream. Darby beats Danielson, wins the world title, and Danielson retires.
That's gonna happen, but with someone else. Whoever wins the casino battle royal, probably.
And that's what it was. That's what my brain was.
I think Danielson wants to work with Darby, probably. So them at Grand Slam, Danielson gets to work Darby. That will be his one successful title defense, and then he loses it in his hometown against fucking like.
My thought was because Darby's also.
Yeah.
So like, Darby and Danielson are both from Washington. So I was like, that's cool because then. Like, either way, someone hometown hero's winning. But that would be so cool to have two hometown heroes in the ring. One of them retires. One of them wins the belt.
He loses it to Nigel McGuinness.
Jesus Christ, can you imagine? And he's just on commentary the whole time holding the belt. Can you fucking imagine? Excalibur beats him for it.
Honestly, at this point.
But yeah.
Fuck it.
I think Danielson wins. Because I think after this, Swerve's going to finish his story with Hangman, and that's gonna end. Hangman's finally gonna beat Swerve, and they don't need the belt because the story between Swerve and Hangman isn't about the belt anymore. It never really was about the belt. That is
true, but it feels like it's gotten to that point where it needs the belt now.
No, because here's the thing.
It's one of them feuds. It's not like the Punk and Drew feud where it's like they don't need the belt.
No, they don't need the belt because the only reason Hangman wanted the belt from Swerve is because Swerve took everything from Hangman. He had to leave his home. He couldn't sleep. He lost his sanity. He lost his sobriety.
So Hangman
he
takes
lost
everything
his friends
from Swerve, the World Championship.
But that was like the symbol of he wanted to take everything from him. I can't believe I'm
here on this podcast pushing for a Hangman World title reign.
Hold on. That was a symbol of I want to take everything from you. But then it now is turned into no, I want to destroy you. It's not about the belt anymore. It is about revenge. It doesn't need to be Hangman takes the belt from him and then he's fulfilled. It's Hangman needs to beat him. He doesn't need to beat him for the belt. He needs to get that revenge. He needs to beat him. He needs to get that win on him.
Man, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with these stories.
Don't get me wrong. I want a Hangman title reign again. I do.
Know what the fuck
I want a Hangman title reign so fucking bad. And honestly, kill me for this if you really fucking want to. Kill me for this. I could see Hangman versus Danielson. And Hangman takes the belt off of him. I could, personally.
I mean, yeah, there's...
Hangman's doing this shit with Jeff Jarrett.
There's technically unfinished business there.
There's unfinished business there.
Yeah, so...
I could see it. So that's very possible. And again, like the thing with... Like, Jeff Jarrett has conveniently been tied to Bryan Danielson and Hangman.
Jeff Jarrett is randomly in this storyline.
Very randomly thrown in here.
And it's so funny.
But... You know, he was talking to Danielson about, like, I'm proud of you for winning the Owen. I want to be your special guest referee.
Yo, speaking of people being there for Bryan Danielson, let's talk about Eddie Kingston quick. I forgot to write that down.
Can I also make, like, a slight mention? Because, like, I see a lot of people thirsting about Eddie Kingston on the internet.
Yeah?
And, yeah, a lot of people on my side of Twitter are like, Eddie Kingston is, like, the peak male. Which, like, to each their own, right? I didn't get it. And then I saw him with his beard really grown out, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, I get it, kind of. Like, he's a pretty decent-looking guy.
Bro's just talking shit from the couch. What
Dude,
the
leg
fuck?
up on the couch, and he's like, I haven't left this couch in 10 years. Like,
Bro...
I haven't even been able to get up to shave. Like, he's just talking mad shit. Like, Danielson, you're not the Danielson that I hated. You're the Danielson I fucking pity now. You're a shell of yourself. Like, Danielson's winning this. He's winning this. But...
I need Nigel to give him a fucking mean-ass talk.
Yeah.
Yo, that would be like a scathing one where he's like, I fucking hate you, but, like, who the fuck is this? Like, oh my god, imagine that. They're doing, like, a thing, like, tomorrow on Dynamite. I just saw it pop up on Twitter, the final showdown. So it's like a face-to-face between Danielson and Swerve, and Nigel's in the picture, like, as, like, the coordinator, it seems like. So I think that would be really fucking cool if, like, I feel like Swerve shouldn't be in the ring. I feel like Swerve should, like, talk his shit and just leave after he talks his shit. And then, like, Danielson can be saying, like, it's that Ace Steel and Punk thing. But it's fucking Nigel doing it to Danielson, but it's, like, scathing. Where he's like, I fucking hate you.
But I think Jeff Jarrett has been conveniently tied to these two people. And Danielson's looking like he's going to win the belt. Hangman doesn't need to win the belt.
What if Jeff Jarrett just beats Bryan Danielson and we all live happily
Dude, can you imagine?
After? I think it should happen.
But Hangman and Swerve don't need the belt. I could see Hangman still going back for the belt.
Jeff Jarrett needs the belt.
But I could see Hangman being the one to retire Danielson. Frankly, let's talk about that super quick. Seriously, who do you think retires Danielson?
Jeff Jarrett.
No, legit.
Nigel McGuinness.
No, because Nigel's not winning the belt. Who do you think legitimately is going to retire him?
I honestly don't fucking know.
I don't know either.
I really actually don't know.
Like, part of me, like, we don't need another Mox title run.
Fucking Yuta?
I was gonna say, part of me thinks Mox, part of me thinks Yuta. Doubt Claudio. Although Claudio has been a little, you know, not pissy with Danielson.
No, like, whoever...
He's made comments.
The thing is, like... Danielson don't need the belt, but, like, he's gonna... like...
He's gonna get the belt.
He's gonna get... He should win the belt. But, like... He said he's gonna wrestle part-time afterwards. I'm just confused.
Stop chewing so loud, Dylan. It's gross.
It's gonna be me that retires Bryan Danielson.
Like, retires his full-time run. I don't know. For some reason, my brain's telling me it's gonna be Hangman. My brain's telling me Hangman. I'll take Yuta. Or, I know things are up in the air. I could see Danny doing it.
No, I think Yuta has a better chance at this point.
Maybe, but we'll see.
Because if Danny comes back, he's jumping in that MJF Will Ospreay thing. Because that's where he left off.
That's true. That's true.
It's just confusing. I don't fucking know. Bryan Danielson retires Bryan Danielson at this fucking point. He's gonna... No, he still needs to wrestle a bear.
Oh, the bear retires him, of course. How could I be so blind? I think Hangman and Jeff Jarrett are gonna show up at Wembley. I think that's gonna happen on Wednesday. Like, they're gonna talk about that or something. I think, personally, I think Okada and Mox is gonna happen for Wembley. I could see Okada beating Claudio and being a little prick and, like, beating him down or something, or the Bucks come out and maybe, you know what, maybe see it be Yuta, but I don't see Mox missing All In. I really don't. I could see, like, Claudio getting, like, I don't know, just ambushed or something or whatever. Like, or, you know, maybe Jack. Maybe Jack shows up because Jack and Okada have been like two peas in a pod.
Jackson sets Claudio on
fire. So Jack Perry just shows up because he's a menace and he wants to cause problems for everybody. And him and Okada are going after fucking Claudio or something. And then Wild Thing hits and Mox comes through the crowd and Jack runs away like a scared little child because that's probably what he would do. But Okada's not gonna fucking back down because he's fucking Okada. And him and Mox are staring down, and they have a match for Wembley. And again, if this happens, this is on Tuesday. We're recording this. I could see that being a match that's added. Trying to think of like other feuds that are going on and stuff that's happening that hasn't been announced. I mean, there's got to be more like pre-show shows, like pre-show matches, like at least
They'll
one.
probably
other one.
fucking put Saraya on the pre-show because it's her hometown.
Yeah.
Kip Sabian will probably do. He'll probably be in the Battle Royal, the
Yeah.
casino thing, because it's his hometown.
Fuck it, put a hologram in some other person in the pre-show.
He might. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, I think they want to keep. They won't put a hologram in the gauntlet because they're doing like an undefeated streak thing with him right now. So hologram versus Angelico in front of 50,000 people would be.
I don't think it's gonna be Angelico. You know, it's gonna be Serpentico.
No.
It's gonna be Serpentico.
No, hear me out. Just listen. Angelico versus hologram versus the Beast Mortos.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Cause fuck it, why not? You
Yo,
know what? No,
wait.
no. Hold on. That's the fourth trio. They win the belts.
Yo, is Vikingo good? Is he?
No,
cool?
his leg's like fucked right now.
Fuck.
Like
I want him versus hologram.
that would be nice. I don't think he'll be the same when he comes back. His leg got fucked, bro.
I have faith.
His leg got fucked.
I have faith in him.
Like I hope Jordan's okay too.
Yeah, I hope Jordan's alright.
Because man, he tore his ACL and that sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be other pre-show matches that are announced. Probably at least 2 more. I could see Saraya being on the pre-show. Apparently her contract's almost up.
No one re-sign her.
You know, I think honestly, personally,
So
I think I
Okay.
think her and Logan Paul and Ronnie Radke would have so much in common, and she should go back to WWE.
No, I don't want her in WWE. I don't think anyone does. But anyway, so I had to I just wanted to know. I didn't listen to the full album. But Falling in Reverse put out I'm sorry. I take that back. The Ronald Radke band put out a new album. And it's garbage. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but he did a song with Saraya on it. It's bad. That's all I wanted to say. Like I had to listen to it.
Does she have vocal strength?
No, it's bad. Like it is.
Like she's singing?
If you call it singing.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Oh,
man.
it's
I gotta hear
fucking
this shit.
bad. Like we're not. I'll show you the song we're not listening to the whole song. All you gotta listen to is the first hook, the chorus, because it's repeated, and then she repeats the chorus at the end of the song. So I'm just gonna skip through the song and get to her part.
I just want to know what her range is.
Oh, it's fucking bad. It's bad. Like, I was listening to the song and I was like, is she on backing vocals or like what? Because I have not heard her at all in this song and there's like 30 seconds left. And then she comes in for like the final and I'm like, oh, this is it? This is bad. It's fucking garbage. I was like, I hate the listen. Like, I'm not listening to the rest of this album, but like, I don't even want to. And plus, Post Malone's album came out that day. I was listening to Post Malone's album. Fucking Ronald Radke.
Oh, that's another thing I meant to mention when we were at dinner because we were talking about Post Malone. So don't be mad at me. I didn't think you would like it personally. But Hot Topic got a Post Malone shirt in for his new album.
Did it have the truck on?
No. It was like a picture of him. And then, which is the point I'm going to bring up. They had another one. They didn't have it, but they had it in the plexi, which was like the paper. It wasn't like the actual shirt. They liked a lot better that I print on the front, print on the back. It was way cooler design. But the shirts say Austin Post Malone. So I'm like, I was sitting there, I was like, is he just going by Austin Post Malone now? Like, what the fuck?
Interesting.
Yeah, right? So I think that's kind of interesting. I could probably find the shirts online to show you later. I didn't think you were gonna like it, so I didn't pick it up. And if you do like it, we'll go to Hot Topic and buy it. Like, you know, I'm sure they'd love to see you there. But yeah, no, I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
Anyway, let's get into the wrestler of the week, Dylan, because I don't even know what time it is. This podcast has gone on for a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, me
frankly.
too.
So we're just a bunch of liars.
We fucking rambled on.
But, all right. Who's the wrestler of the week?
Spend my days
God,
working
come
hard
on.
on the go, but
Come
the
on.
hands on the clock keep spinning too slow. I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. It's Jeff Jarrett. J-E-double-F J-A-double-R-E-double-T. Ain't I great? Don't piss me off. Listen up, slap nuts.
Have we really not had Jeff Jarrett as a wrestler of the week?
We have not, and we
That's
finally
actually kind of insane.
we finally have done it. It is J-E-double-F J-A-double-R-E-double-T. Jeff Jarrett.
That's how I know you've been talking to Bryce on the regular.
Bree-woo, bree-woo.
All right, so tell me about Bree-woo. When was your first introduction to Bree-woo? Was it TNA?
It was TNA.
Okay.
I was a young lad.
Just fucking Chris, shut up.
And this guy just comes out hitting people with fucking guitars.
Bree-woo, Bree-woo.
Yeah, just fucking hitting people with guitars. And I'm like, I fucking hated Jeff Jarrett, bro. I was like, every fucking time he would just hit like Kurt Angle or Sting with the guitar. It's like, God, I hate this guy.
I hate this motherfucker so
But then
much.
as you grow older, you relate to him more.
I don't know if I've ever related to Jeff
And
Jarrett.
then you-
Aside from his, like, drippy shoe game.
And then you fall in love with 1995 WWF, and you're like, that's Jeff Jarrett with long blonde hair fucking singing Alone with My Baby Tonight. J-E-double-F J-A-double-R-E-double-T.
What would you say your favorite Jeff Jarrett run was?
My favorite Jeff Jarrett run? Ah, man. The Don't Piss Me Off Jeff Jarrett from WWF, where he was, this is gonna sound so fucked up how I word this, but when he was just hitting like the women with the guitars, because it's so random. Like, bro, he nails Moolah with a guitar. Like it led to a really fucking good story between him and China.
Mm-hmm.
But like, bro was just hitting like he hit like Sable with the guitar, not Sable, one of the fucking divas with the guitar. But it was just, Don't Piss Me Off, Jeff Jarrett. It's just funny. Don't piss me off. The Chosen one was also good in WCW, and that was Russo era WCW, but it was actually good. The chosen one.
Favorite Jeff Jarrett match?
My favorite Jeff Jarrett match, him versus Jeff Hardy in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match.
Honestly,
No, it's
art.
yeah.
No, that was an art piece. That was one of Jeff Hardy's art pieces, frankly. If I'm gonna be so fucking for real.
No, my favorite Jeff Jarrett match, minus that one, because that one's actually just so bad it's good, was him versus Shawn Michaels from WWF In Your House, whatever fucking number. It's one of the early In Your Houses, and it was a really good fucking match. I just love Jeff Jarrett, man. Listen up, slap nuts.
Genuinely.
My favorite Jeff Jarrett moment is when he hit Beetlejuice
Okay.
with the guitar.
Hey, Toby.
Hey, oh, that's another good one. Hey, Toby, how do you like me now? Bro, it's like months after 9/11, and Toby Keith, TNA invites Toby Keith to sing the fucking
Boots and ass.
Boots and Ass America flag song, and fucking
America flag song.
Jeff Jarrett fucking cuts him off. Like, what a heel. It's months after 9/11, like the world's facing a tragedy. Toby Keith is being Mr. America out here. And Jeff Jarrett's like, hey, Toby, how do you like me now? What the fuck?
Genuinely, your opinions on Jeff Jarrett's signing with AEW.
Oh, I think it's one of the best fucking signings that AEW has done.
I agree. Like, the thing is, Jeff Jarrett hasn't been, like... He's been very prominent recently.
Jeff Jarrett has proved a lot of people wrong in the signing, because when he first showed up, people were like, why?
Yeah.
Because people had this one fucking thing in their head of, oh, great, the guy that, like, helped ruin TNA, the guy that booked himself as champion, oh, God. This guy that held up Vince McMahon for money in WWF, this guy that has the Memphis style of booking and the Russo style of booking and is going to be fucking stupid on TV. This guy, Jeff Jarrett. And then he just proved everyone wrong.
Yeah, like, the thing is, Jeff Jarrett hasn't been, like, overly prominent in AEW.
He hasn't won a belt. He has not won.
He won the Texas Chainsaw Massacre belt.
That is true.
That
is true.
Like, he hasn't been, like, overly prominent. He's had, like, obviously his own stories. He hasn't been, like, main event, like, you know, draw type of thing, whatever.
Excuse me.
But, hold on. What he has been involved in has been really fucking good.
He has helped people along the way.
He's helped a lot of people along the way. The stories that he has been in have been very entertaining. They've been solid. The matches he's been in has been great.
They turned him babyface.
They turned him babyface out of nowhere. Like,
because he's Owen Hart's friend.
He's Owen Hart's friend. Like, that's literally all it took. You know, and, like, I'm sure he's doing a lot of stuff backstage also.
I think he helps with, like, live events.
Yeah, which is great. It's also fun to see him now on the pre-show talking with, like, Renee and RJ City.
It's funny.
He's hilarious.
It's funny. Jeff Jarrett. You know, I'm gonna do a plug here. If you just want to listen to, like, a really cool wrestling podcast, listen to My World with Jeff Jarrett. It's fucking great. It's such a good podcast, and, like, his stories are funny.
But no, like, I didn't really have, like, a lot of, I don't want to say faith in Jeff Jarrett being signed. Like, I wasn't like, oh, great, this guy. I was just like, okay, my genuine thing was like, really, at this point in his career, what's Jeff Jarrett gonna do? Like,
I was so happy.
I was like, what is he actually gonna do here? Can he even really go as well? Like, what are we expecting here? And again, like, there's the stuff, like, that he helps with backstage and whatnot too. But, you know, and also, like, I was a little, like, with him and Jay Lethal and Satnam and Sanjay, you know, I'm just kind of sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck even is this? Like, what's happening?
It's
like,
Team TNA.
Like, what is going on? And it was still just, like, proven wrong. Again, it's not like they've won a bunch of matches. It's not like they're constantly, like, being, like, going over.
No, they put
like
people over.
They put people over.
And Jeff Jarrett's the one doing jobs half the time.
I think Jay Lethal's done more jobs.
He's done more, but it's
Jay Lethal's done more jobs.
Jeff Jarrett just did the job in the main event to Bryan Danielson.
You can't job to Bryan Danielson if you're Jeff Jarrett, honestly. You just lost.
No, he jobbed.
Whatever.
Remember when Bryan Danielson fought Satnam?
That was wild. Just because he wanted to, honestly.
That's all. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, personally, like, I don't hate Jeff Jarrett in AEW, and I think a lot of people still give him a little bit too much shit, like, that he doesn't really deserve.
He's gonna always get shit because of the predicaments he put himself in the past.
Like, I'm gonna be so fucking for real. He had every right to hold up Vince McMahon.
Yes.
I don't even care. I don't even care the reason. I don't know the reason. I don't give a shit. He wanted his money.
You can listen to episode 1 of My World with Jeff Jarrett, and he goes through the whole story.
But, like, you know, it is what it is. And he clearly has proved that he hasn't done any of that shit in AEW. And he's just here to help. And I love that. And, you know, his segments are always going to be good segments. They're always going to be fun and funny. Like when they were trying to get Mark Briscoe to join them, and they did like the one at like Jarrett's. What was it at Jeff? No, it was
at the Briscoe Chicken Farm.
And he was like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna sing my hit single. It's called 'With My Baby.'"
Spend my day working working hard on the go.
But like it's always entertaining and it's always good and like
I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight.
and hearing him with that like I guess you could say like interview promo package, the Owen Hart, sit down with Jeff Jarrett and whatnot was like, very emotional, and it like I don't want to say like painted him in a different light. Again, personally, I don't have anything against him. But I think a lot of people, it was very clear that a lot of people that were kind of like against him or like weren't the biggest fans of him, like kind of just seeing him be a person and not just like the person that like we've heard of, that we've known, that we see on the TV screen, and just kind of see him be like legitimately a real fucking person really won a lot of people over on him. And that makes me really happy to see.
I also just enjoy seeing Karen Jarrett with him.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because, like, at first I was like, oh, God, what's Karen Jarrett doing here? God, please, no. Like, no, I'm having flashbacks. And then I was like, you know what? She's honestly had not been that fucking bad.
It's just been a nuisance.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Don't give her the mic often. I love you, Karen. I love when you appear on the podcast.
So, if Jeff Jarrett was in the room with us right now, would you ask him to hit you over the head with the guitar?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one thing that I never got to experience, was getting hit over the head with the guitar in any wrestling match.
I can hit you over there with the guitar.
I would want it gimmicked. Not real.
I can gimmick it.
Not real. That's one thing I always wish to happen.
It's very easy to gimmick them.
But, yeah, we won't get into that.
No, but...
Fucking dumb fucks.
But,
I like Jeff Jarrett. My last wrestling run, before I dislocated my elbow, there was matches where I was doing the stroke.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing Jeff Jarrett's finish. I had started doing the stroke because I was just like, and every time I hit, I would be like, choke on that, slap nuts.
But anyway, I think that's all I really have to like question or talk about with Jeff Jarrett. Is there anything else you want to add about him?
You know she's got me wrapped around her little finger.
We're gonna get copyright striked.
I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. That's JEFFJARRETT. Lyssie, take us out of here.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for us today. This is way longer than we actually anticipated it to be, so sorry that we lied at the beginning. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, listening, however you view us. If you want to follow us on the Instagram, you can follow us at Talkin Wrasslin Pod on Instagram. That is TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the same handles, which is Lungtar, LUNG_TAR. And you can find me on TikTok at LungBucks. That is LUNG_BUCKS. TikTok, I will get to posting more on it. I know I've been saying that the past couple weeks. I did just post a video the other day. I recently just got a new Eda bag. Shout out to Flighty Artworks. I bought it because I needed a new bag. And she makes some really cool fucking shit. And I just wanted to kind of promote it for her because she's awesome and she does really cool artwork. So I did just recently do that. If you want to go see what my bag looks like, go check that out. I will hopefully start posting a little bit more videos as well as time goes on.
That guy's last name was Duval.
Duval!
That's funny.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, I talk, again, a lot about wrestling. And because football season is starting, I will be talking a lot about Duval. And I'll be talking a lot about Jags.
You're going to talk about football on TikTok?
Twitter.
Okay,
Did I say TikTok? I meant Twitter.
That's a little bit better on Twitter.
Yeah, not TikTok.
I was going to say TikTok.
No.
I was like, oh, God.
I'm not talking about football on TikTok.
I don't know what's worse, talking about wrestling or fucking football.
No, I'm not
TikTok.
talking about... I might have misspoke. I'm talking about it on wrestling. Or on wrestling.
Fuck.
I'm talking about wrestling and football on Twitter. So, you'll see a little bit more of that start popping up over the next couple of weeks. I don't talk about it too much. I just kind of will live tweet during watching games. I'll share out like scores and whatnot. I'll just say some fucking shit and that's really it. Like I'm not going in on stats or anything like that. Just being like, yay, go team, or fuck you guys, why does our O-line suck? But it's predominantly wrestling related stuff. And Instagram, I don't post too much on my main feed. I do post more so on my stories. But, you know, on occasion I'll post on my main feed. Again, wrestling, that's like wrestling, tattoos, Chapel Roan, Orville Peck, and anything else in between, really. Dylan, I've rambled enough. Where could they find you?
Oh, before that, I forgot to mention this really quick. Since this is being uploaded on Thursday, and today is Tuesday, there's gonna be I'm gonna try to do a flashback way back Wednesday match next week. Again, craziness, all that. I'm gonna try to do one next week. And there was no flashback match this week because craziness and all that. Just wanted to add that in there. Forgot to add that. But you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Danny_line_Valo_line DANI_line VALO_line. I've been quiet on social media as of late because of just so much going on, living life and everything and whatnot. You probably saw me recently, if you follow me on Twitter, bitching about Hulu TV. We don't have that bullshit anymore.
Oh, Hulu Live, yeah.
Fuck that shit. We got YouTube TV.
We
now.
were having so much problems. We'll talk about this super duper quick before we end it. I'm having so many problems with Hulu Live, and initially, like, I thought maybe it's because Dylan got a PS5. And it still could have honestly been that, because a lot of people were saying the Hulu app on the PS5 was like dog shit. But I don't know, because it worked for some stuff and then didn't work for other stuff. Like, it was pretty much fine when we were watching wrestling. Like, on occasion it would buffer.
No, this problem that I was having
yeah.
recently was happening to like more people the second time it happened, I saw.
Yeah, so basically, like, we were fine, like, dealing with the buffering. It was annoying, but it was just kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, it's a couple seconds buffering and then it goes back to normal. And, you know, some shows just, like, weren't playing well. But it was tolerable. It was, like, whatever. But then this time, it was, like, it was saying that we had a VPN.
Yeah.
And that we weren't in the United States viewing Hulu. And it was like, no, we're in Pennsylvania. Like, we are viewing Hulu in the United States of America in Pennsylvania. And we have not gone literally anywhere since the prior day. But I guess what you were saying, like, it happened and then it stopped and it started working.
It started working for, like, I was at work, so I didn't really get to, like, check it, but, like, I got it working. I was like, oh, things are working good and everything, and was, like, able to, like, watch what I wanted to watch on my lunch quick. And then I was, like, I came back home to, I think I was putting on, like, a baseball game or whatever, and it just did the same shit. And I was like, I immediately was like, all right, I'm canceling this, getting YouTube TV, fuck this. Like, it was literally impulsive, just like that.
And YouTube TV is actually $10 cheaper than what you were paying for Hulu.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, we still get, like, the,
Still get everything.
We still get everything. The only thing that we might be a little bit late on to talking about is if Dark Side of the Ring gets renewed for another season.
I was also looking, I have to look more into it. I have to see if we get, like, the WWE A&E documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
And shit like that. It looks like we get A&E. I'm still figuring out how.
Oh, well, if we get A&E, we might still get Customer Wars and stuff, though.
We might.
Because that's on A&E.
But I just have to, I'm still trying to figure out fucking Hulu TV. I only know how to work the certain channels that I want to watch. I know how to get the fucking Phillies game on, and I know how to get the football games on. And that's all that fucking matters to me.
Yeah.
Right now. And I know how to get the wrestling on.
Yeah. That was my biggest thing. Like, as long as we can watch wrestling, I really don't give two fucks what we have.
I'll figure the other shit out.
Yeah, we'll get there. But
I'm not spending $700 for NFL Sunday ticket.
That's so unfortunate, honestly. But that's fine. I can...
Someone give me $700.
I could totally legally find ways to watch my Jags games. Anyway, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Share this out to your friends, your parents, your grandparents, the people that you don't like, the people that you barely know, the girl that you're trying to get with and you're trying to get into wrestling, and for some reason you think our podcast is going to be the way to go. Just so you know, it's not. She's probably not going to be interested after this. Again, follow us on any social media platforms that you'd like or don't. I don't care. Either or is totally fine. And I guess we will see you guys next week. Hopefully at a more normal time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.